Destiny 1 had mystery. So did Destiny 2, and still does, but the overall story feels underwhelming at the moment because we have all the answers. Today we journey back to the roots of Destiny, examining the elements that made the game a captivating experience for players around the world. From unveiling an unknown alien species to the exploration of lost, mysterious worlds. The final shape wraps up the light and dark saga, but Bungie has the opportunity to start anew, reignite the sense of wonder and excitement for the future of the game. Let's discuss how Destiny was better when you knew nothing. Picture this in your mind back to the early days of Destiny 1, when Bungie first announced their next project after Halo. It was called Destiny, and it was a mysterious sci-fi shooter where Earth had one last city and an alien sphere would hang in the skies to protect all. I remember seeing these worlds for the first time and was just mind blown. What was the story like? What was that sphere, and why was it above Earth? What lost secrets could I explore in these worlds? When the game released and players finally got it into their hands, there were many different locations that made it feel huge. Earth, Venus, Mars, the Moon, all with their own enemies, mysteries, and backstory. The reason we felt this was because we were introduced to something completely new for the first time. New alien species, lost mysterious worlds, the Traveler, the darkness, whatever that was. The introduction of various alien species, each with their own unique cultures, technologies, and motivations, added layers to the game's universe. We had no clue what these species were about: time-traveling robots, space turtles of Mars. The lack of complete information about these species fueled curiosity and speculation among the player base. Destiny 1 and 2 excelled in creating an atmosphere filled with mystery through its art design and environmental storytelling. Ruined civilizations, ancient structures, and unexplained phenomena all contributed to a world that felt ancient, lived in, and full of secrets. The game's mysterious nature fostered a strong community engagement. Players would share theories, dissect lore, and collaborate to solve in-game puzzles. Some of my favorite videos I've made are centered on these topics.
Guardian down.
This sense of community investigation added another layer to the game's allure. Entire Destiny's sub-communities created, like lore Reddits, raid secrets. Destiny is the perfect game for these surprises and sci-fi mysteries. Personally for me, I remember during the early days when there were DLC locations already in the game, for DLC that didn't release yet of course. You could glitch out of the map and find these secret areas, and it added to the world building and community aspect. What was this mysterious Vex structure used for on Venus? Now that's glitching into DLC content kinda different, but players to this day still find cool things. At that point, I had already beaten Destiny 1, I still played it for fun, explored these worlds, but I was like, wait a minute, what's next? What's gonna happen here? So we get the point. Destiny has felt mysterious in the past, so why does the story feel bland now, almost 10 years later? Well, when it comes down to it, we've learned almost every big answer. It makes things feel known, less interesting. At first, we all saw the Cabal as space rhinos that destroyed entire planets. Now we know everything about how they operate, their leaders, and goals. The Hive were a ruthless force who, for millions of years, destroyed civilizations, had gods and powers of darkness. Now we've known all their leaders, came into contact and interacted with them, learned how they were created and tricked long ago by the big bad of the universe, the Witness.
The stories tell of a golden age long ago, when our civilization spanned the system. It was a bright and hopeful time, but it didn't last. Something hit us, knocked us down and tried to stamp us out. No one knows exactly what, but we do know this. Very few of us survived. And those who did owe their lives to the Traveler. The mysterious sphere still hangs where it made its last stand, low above the earth, keeping silent watch. The years that followed the collapse of the Golden Age were hard, but slowly we joined together to build a city beneath the Traveler. And now we've begun to venture back into the wild, only to find that we're not alone. Strange and deadly creatures have occupied our old worlds, and they're pressing hard against the city, probing for a weakness, trying to stamp us out for good.
The Traveler's power runs parallel to the forces of nature. Wherever the Traveler came from, the Veil may have as well. That at one time, they may have been united. Part of a whole.
This is the true and unfortunate feeling at the moment for some. There may be veterans and new players who still dive into the mysteries and don't know everything, but it may contribute to some of the reasons players feel burnt out. But when you look at it, this is what we wanted and asked for. It was going to happen at some point. We were going to learn what the Traveler is, or who is behind the darkness. We may get some answers and it may feel underwhelming, but they needed to be answered at some point or else people would just get mad. Personally, I love the lore and go with the flow with what releases. I like covering the story of this game. But I too want the mystery to return for future episodes and maybe even expansions. Hey, they might even develop movies and TV shows which can fuel that fire even more. The great part is Bungie is good at this mystery thing. Think back to Halo with the Forerunners and their unknown technology and installations, the early days of Destiny 1 and the grit that came with it. The final shape should answer our biggest questions, but Bungie also needs to reignite the mystery fire right after that to keep players engaged. When they decided to wrap up this 10-year saga, they kinda had to bring some of these plot threads to a close, and that's the current timeline we are in. Beyond that, maybe kind of treat it like a sequel, new story, new mysteries, new things to explore. So while it may make you feel sad or underwhelmed with the Light and Dark saga and its conclusion in the final shape, the opportunity represents itself afterwards with episodes. These steps have already been taken to tell some of those first stories, Vikrul, possibly Praedyth and Ishtar, and Xivu Arath. Episodes are said to be self-contained stories. You can play them on their own. I'm assuming these stories will still go in a somewhat overall order with the universe, the live service aspect of the game, but this may be even better when it comes to new story content, being able to dive into crazy theories instead of having to follow a specific order, maybe jump around and tell different stories, go to Tora Battle, go to Old Chicago. That may be asking for a lot, but you get the idea. When it comes down to it, we need new secrets to ponder, locations in lore and game, new alien threats or allies. The Books of Sorrow and Inspiral Lorebook mention tons of alien species that are only found in the lore, an entire galactic empire that used darkness. Sure, most of these were wiped out thanks to the Witness and the Hive, but some have to still exist, right? And if not, and they were annihilated, maybe make some new ones or make a reason for them to exist. What if when the final shape concludes, it reignites life across the universe? Gives those who were suffocated by darkness another chance, kind of like the Guardians. Giant alien gods are also a great option. The Traveler is the big source of Destiny's mystery all these years later. So I guess they could do that again, but it would have to be done in a more intriguing way. We've just had that for an entire saga. So aliens, locations, magic powers, and epic stories. reignite what Destiny 1 did so well, making the game feel new and something players have never experienced before. Bungie needs this for the story, but also to keep players engaged. Players have been bored of the content model of the seasons and expansions for the last couple of years, and things clearly need to change. Many great mysteries still remain, and while I hope they introduce new ones like those alien species and locations down the line, here's some of the easier ideas they could start with right away. First up, Ishtar and Praedyth. This seems almost like a perfect setup with the last year of lore from Chioma, Praedyth trying to escape the Vault of Glass in Shadowkeep, and secrets in the Star-Crossed mission. Things are changing and moving between Ishtar, Praedyth, the Vault of Glass, and ultimately the Vex. The Vex are trying to evolve. Another option, maybe Xivu and Fikrul could be interesting, but it needs to twist things up after the final shape. We've seen these characters before, so how would they still be a threat after the Witness is dealt with? The Scion mysteries that remain are huge. Scions are one of the most interesting enemies we've come across. While small and easy to take out, they can imprint thoughts into characters' minds and show them things. They can speak to each other with their own minds. The Scion Conclave from Season of the Chosen and previous still exist. The mysteries behind the legendary Scion Odsot and the timeline predicting device the Oxa machine are also still out there. The machine was said to be destroyed but was brought back up in Lightfall's Collector's Edition. As we look forward to the future of Destiny, it's clear that the game's enduring appeal lies in its ability to weave intricate mysteries and deep lore into its expansive universe. While we've uncovered many secrets and learned much about the Destiny world, the potential for new mysteries is limitless. It's a sci-fi game where characters wield space magic. Whether you like it or not, Bungie has shown time and time again their prowess in crafting compelling narratives filled with intrigue and wonder. Not just the story, think about the worlds too. Whether it's through exploring the untold stories of characters like Praedyth and Odsot, delving into the Scion Conclave, or introducing entirely new alien species and cosmic mysteries, the future of Destiny must promise to rekindle the sense of awe and curiosity that captivated us from the beginning.
Who are you?
Why have you been watching us?
I don't even have time to explain why I don't have time to explain. I will. I know.
Will what?
I wasn't talking to you, little light.
I'm a ghost, actually.
As guardians of this universe, we stand ready to embark on these new adventures, eager to uncover the secrets that await and to continue writing our own legends in the stars. Let's hope the final shape is epic, and the episodes to follow introduce some compelling threats and narrative.
After Halo, we ask ourselves the question, what next? What's worth doing? When you have a studio with this much talent, what do you point it at? How could we take a genre that we know and love so well, the first-person shooter, and turn it on its head again? And our answer is Destiny, Bungie's next great FPS. In Destiny, we've created a fantastic new universe for players to explore, full of mystery and adventure. We've built a persistent online world where players grow and customize their characters. And we focused from the beginning, not just on the great competitive experience that players demand from a shooter, but to make sure that playing Destiny cooperatively with your friends was going to blow your mind.
Anyway, Guardians, that's all we got for today's video. If you'd like to see some more Destiny lore and mysteries just like it, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video.